Most people think ADHD means you simply can't focus. But if that were true, how do people with ADHD sometimes focus for hours on something they enjoy? You've probably experienced this yourself. You sit down to work and can't concentrate for 5 minutes, but then suddenly you spend 3 hours completely absorbed in something interesting. So what's actually happening there? This is called flow state. And here's the part most people miss. Flow state isn't random. It happens when the right conditions appear. If those conditions can be created, then flow state can be triggered. The question is, what conditions actually matter for ADHD brains? There are 6 simple ones, and the first one is surprisingly small. Step 1. Start ridiculously small. ADHD brains resist big tasks. A project feels overwhelming before you even begin, so shrink the starting point. Instead of saying, "I'm going to write my essay," say, "I'm going to write 1 sentence." That tiny action removes resistance and builds momentum. But starting isn't the hardest part. The real question is, how do you keep your brain engaged long enough for flow state to appear? That's step 2. Add urgency. ADHD brains respond strongly to time pressure. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Now the task becomes a short challenge instead of an endless obligation, and challenge is one of the main triggers of flow. But even with urgency, something small can destroy focus instantly. This is step 3. Remove distractions. Flow state is fragile. A single notification can break it. So before starting, put your phone in another room, close extra tabs, silence notifications. Think of it as creating a protected space for your attention. Step 4. Add a little stimulation. Many people with ADHD focus better with slight stimulation. That could be instrumental music, white noise, standing while working, or pacing while thinking. The goal is simple. Keep your brain engaged enough to stay with the task. Step 5. Use a small ritual. Create a short routine before every focus session. For example, make coffee, open your notebook, start a timer. If you repeat this consistently, your brain begins associating that ritual with focus mode. But one final habit determines whether flow state actually appears, and that's step 6. Stay on one task. ADHD often leads to constant task switching, but this state requires continuity. So during your session, make one rule: stay with a single task, even if the first few minutes feel slow, because flow state usually appears after about 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted focus. Here's the truth. Most people will hear these steps and go back to scattered work, letting distractions and half-finished tasks run their day. But not you. Today, you choose differently. If this helped you in any way, make sure to subscribe.